I'm searching for scrolls here, you know, and here, hold on. This one here is actually the part which I was convinced that there will be like a scroll or something, and it's nothing. Let's go a little bit into deeper scroll searching. Hello, back again. This is Edgar from Cremona here on top of the rock. I'm actually searching here to show you that the scroll of the violin. People think somebody was sitting there in the 15th century or even earlier and was thinking, damn, what I'm going to put on the scroll there, where the scroll will be, what could I put there after the 4 pegs? And actually from the Baroque period and everything, they put scrolls everywhere, but it was something which at these days human time was not so precious, and they traced a line, and at the end they put it a scroll. And this is not made on the violin, this is made everywhere, in every building, in every furniture, wherever you look. Now, you're probably not living in Italy, okay? Most people are not Europeans, but the ones who are used to live in such a museum, how we live in Europe. Today we go from my new workshop, which is here, the roof of the new workshop. I thought there will be a scroll, it isn't a scroll, okay, sorry. But we go back to my old workshop, and we just go with open eyes, and we see how many scrolls we're going to find. Now, this is the future entrance of the workshop, and now from here we go to Via Mauro Macchi, searching for some scrolls. Here down there I would already hardly see. Oh, I have already found the first one. It's like Easter egg searching. Here on the window up here, you see this part which goes up, and there is a tiny, it's very washed and not very unfocused anymore, but there is another scroll. This was via Gatti. There's a scroll here. I come here to Corso Mazzini, and I see already in the next scroll here on the balcony. Okay, so I crossed the road, and there are so many scrolls around me, you wouldn't even tell. It's just buildings, but there's these scrolls above this in stone. And then here at the door, we have already the first ones carved out of wood. So that means that if a door like this has scroll here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is a property. We could also watch inside, even if you would go inside. Now we cannot go in every building, but there would be so many scrolls. It's just incredible here. These here, another ones. So even the ones who were working with metal, they made scrolls, and then here all the paintings here, and then inside. So, but we don't want to disturb now entire Cremona, but this is a nice building, and I think this is very nice. We go out, and I just show you the next building I saw already, because of so many scrolls, you cannot even concentrate here. The entire building here, above every window, has this stone. Then above every, on the edge, around there, above the windows, it's like, I think underneath the roof, I think only this building has about hundreds of scrolls. Yeah, so it's just incredible how much decoration. The decoration itself of this building has all this decoration, a little bit similar like the instruments of Stradivari, the decorated ones, that there is this decoration. So apparently we moved only from one building, and this next building seems actually very simple. Yeah, you would say no scroll. Not true. Up here again, scrolls. Yeah, I don't know if even up there, there are also, at least on the simple building, probably 20 or 30 scrolls. And now, if you see so many scrolls in 2 buildings, let's see if we find some more here. Oh, even this one here, up there. And believe me, they're all made very nice. If you look at them, they're all very nicely done. So that means that if now you are going to a furniture maker and you order what you want, a simple shelf or a bed, the entrance, the door entrance, I'm sure he would carve quick a small scroll somewhere. And indeed, if you would come to Cremona and you would go into a church, but not only Cremona, even Florence, Venice, Milan, whatever, you see inside in the churches all these furnitures everywhere, scrolls carved. And what we believe, oh damn, you really have to think and you have to make a very nice scroll, is nothing else than for them that was at that time a logical way to finish two lines, to a corner, an edge, to give a certain, on a window at the end when they put this scroll, it gives more like this center point. So when you look at the window with something like this, even if you look at the window without looking at the scroll above, it's immediately the center of the image you watch to. So it gives a more secure and stable appearance. It's a kind of a very strong shape. If you're not in violin making, you don't really think, yeah, come on, this one here is now philosophy and, you know, about talking about scrolls. But if you look at the nicely made scroll, it has something very strong. And next to it, if you look to a lousy Chinese made scroll where somebody made it with a machine or whatever and then sprayed over and all that, then it certainly is not this strong appearance how it is here on this front side of the building. Yeah, usually they only made it on the front side and not so much on the sides. The more wealthy they were, the more decorated also all the sides of the building. Typical of Northern Europe culture, like let's say Sweden, they only paint the building in the front towards the road. You know, these typical Swedish buildings with this red wall. They make it only towards the road and the rest they don't even paint, yeah? Here in Italy, typical and makes it also nice that all the walls, everything is nicely decorated, even the sides behind. And this one here is Palazzo Fodri, and you would just say, yeah, well, a lot of decorations. We can't see now here a real scroll, even so there are some very, very tiny ones in bad shape, but there are some. But then here you go to this door, no scroll. Oh, above here, there is a view here. Underneath, oh no, there's no scroll, but it's very similar to a scroll. Come on, Christian, they won't bite us. And then here you have a very nice palace. There are some people restoring even, very good. It's not a bad one, this one here. And then they have also some others where there is no scroll but only flowers, and then there once again scrolls. Here there's some few flowers. At the corner is always the scroll. I could propose in the workshop to Marco that we want to do all the walls like this. How much would it cost? Palazzo Fodri, even in English, all the description, and at the end of the 15th century by the Cremonese architect De Lera. So for the noble in the Fodri family, and then you can read everything when you're here. But this, just to make you understand, that means it took them more than 1 year. It takes us 1 year nowadays to restore our apartment. To build this, it took them probably longer. And that means that the scroll was already invented. Yeah, and they just put it on our instruments. A small detail, not a scroll, but a good scroll maker. Down there at the corner or the next building, we don't know exactly, but more or less, one of the two has been the house of Giuseppe Guarnieri del Gesù. At least this is 90% that it's true, because we found that in some books where there was an old map of the town and you could deduct of the roads. I guess we could make 18 hours of scroll capturing of Cremona here or in another Italian city. But I think you got the message why we have actually the violin scroll at the end of every neck. Beside that, I even showed you that the scroll has also its function for the sound. A certain weight needs to be there in order that the instrument has a certain big and strong sound. If you just take it away, it becomes a little bit thin and it's not this crunchy and rich anymore. It takes a little bit of craftsmanship, and it's a great way to show that you were the one who made the scroll, because apparently they're all the same. But once you're into it in violin making, for instance, and you look at the scroll, you immediately can deduct if it's a German, French, or an Italian scroll. And it tells you also a little bit about how the person who made that scroll is facing certain steps during the whole making, because to make a scroll, it takes you almost all the tools we use in violin making. Most of our gauze, saws, drills, some personal taste. It's a little bit like a signature. Everybody signs in a different way, and the scroll is the signature of the maker of that instrument. Hope you like this video. If you want to make a scroll, you could sign up to my Violin Making Academy, and you can just purchase the neck and scroll making class. If you don't want to make this, it's also fine, but then subscribe and tell all your friends, because I want to have 1 million subscribers. Thanks, see you, bye bye, ciao ciao.
Stasera devi suonare. Certo. Cazzo, ma... sì. Ce la fai? Sì.